my friends, where have you been? I have been missing you guys. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with me today, talking about some movies for a little while. Today, guys, we're talking about a movie from 1986. But before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button for me. And today we're talking about a Stuart Gordon classic. For anyone who doesn't know who Stuart Gordon is, he's like a kind of a godfather of horror, if you will. You know, he's up there with, in my opinion, he's up there with Wes Craven, John Carpenter, James Wan, all those guys. I think that, you know, he's given us some of the best B horror films ever made. And so today we're going to be talking about From Beyond, guys. Now this is, man, they got the KY and the Caro syrup flowing freely in this. That sounds like some kind of kinky situation, but it's not. It's about a horror movie, and everything is gross and slimy, and it is bloody, and it is, you know, visceral, and it's a charnel house. You know, it is an awesome movie. It has got some awesome practical effects. It has got, you know, decent acting, I guess. We've got our veteran Jeffrey Combs in this. We've got Barbara Crampton in this. She's, you know, Scream Queen. There is some good stuff in this film, guys. Stuart Gordon, he's directed, you know, I believe he directed Castle Freak. He's directed From Beyond. He's directed a bunch of stuff. If you just go and look up his filmography, you will be impressed, I promise. But, so this is basically about these people. They're trying to stimulate the pineal gland in the forehead, your third eye, right? Your dream gland. And they're trying to stimulate this thing, but in the process, they open up like another dimension, and stuff starts like, you know, coming through and possessing them and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, you know, ooey gooey creatures and people melting. And it's just, it's so awesome, guys. It is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best, like, you know, kind of body horror films there is. You know, we've got stuff like The Thing, and we've got stuff like The Fly, and then we have From Beyond. Right? I mean, this is, we're talking about, they spent their budget wisely. You know, we got, of course, like I said, we've got Jeffrey Combs, we've got Barbara Crampton, I'm sure, and we got Ken Foree in here too. Good old Ken Foree from Dawn of the Dead. But we've got those three actors. But you could tell where the love was in the film. You could tell where the passion was. It was in those special effects. It was, I mean, we get good acting from our actors, yes, and I'm sure they cost a pretty penny, but our production budget went to those special effects and bringing this H.P. Lovecraft story to vibrant life, right? We have them summoning and starting, I say summoning, they crank up this machine and it starts like vibrating their glands. And so then, you know, things start mutating and coming across, and it's, you know, it's got those 80s special effects where it's like the kind of like the Star Trek beam me up Scotty look with the, you know, when things will like come into the realm and all that kind of stuff. But then that is cool because that's pure 80s to me. That's really cool because it takes you back to like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, where, you know, the ghosts are coming out of the Ark and killing the Nazis. It's like, excuse me, it's, you know, those are, for the time, those are super good special effects. And this, even though it's not quite as good as the Indiana Jones special effects, it's reminiscent, and it gives you enough to make it cool looking. And then you couple that with those awesome practical effects with the styrofoam and the prosthetics and the Caro syrup and the just ooey. Oh man, it's so awesome. I love it. It's just, practical effects are a work of art, guys. You know, CG, there's no soul in CGI. There's no soul, there's no passion, but you give me like, you know, that spray foam in a can and some paint, and man, you can make a monster, baby. You can make a monster with that. Forget that CGI green suit and motion capture BS, bologna sandwiches. Get out of here. We don't need that. We need these practical 1980s effects. Give me that. We have so much technology nowadays that we can make practical effects look so real that people would throw up in the theater. I'm just saying, guys. That's just my take on it. But back to From Beyond. If you are a fan of Stuart Gordon, if you like horror movies, if you like, If you like B horror movies, I love B horror movies because I know what I'm getting. When I get into a B horror movie, I'm not expecting Oscar-worthy performances. I'm not expecting, cinematography that's gonna blow me away. I'm expecting subpar acting, decent special effects, and cool monsters or cool story. Something. B horror movies, in my opinion, sometimes have the best stories compared to AAA motion pictures, right? I mean, look at our horror movie state today. We have PG-13 nonsense that ain't even scary. We got Blumhouse putting out stuff that wouldn't even scare your meemaw. You know what I'm saying? And then we have stuff like From Beyond. And even though it's not scary, it is unsettling when you look at it. If I was a kid because I didn't see this as a kid, and I'm probably glad I'm glad I didn't. Well, maybe I'm not, because maybe I'd have thought it was even cooler when I was a kid, because I was a weird kid. But From Beyond, like when I saw this as an adult, because I saw this in my 20s for the first time with my brother, and it was just like, it blew me away with the special effects and how just beautiful they were. And then if I would have seen that when I was a kid, man, oh my goodness, get out of town. It would have been over. I wanted to be a special effects artist, but life happens. But movies like this are what inspire people to be artists, to be special effects artists, to go into the film industry. I mean, yeah, you look at Flowers of the Killer Moon or Killers of the Flower Moon, and sure, that's cinematic beauty, technically superior to anything Stuart Gordon has ever done. But at the same time, yeah, those inspire people, the artsy people. But if you look at stuff like Stuart Gordon or Brian Usna or something like that, that's just fun. It's just fun to be a part of, to watch it, to partake in it, to participate in it. I mean, those guys have fun, and they inspire. When a kid watches those, they inspire those kids to like, that is a cool looking monster. I want to do something like that. That's my 2 cents on From Beyond, guys. I'm sorry, I got off on a soapbox there, didn't really give you a review. It's a great movie. Check it out. You can find it streaming on Pluto. I bought it because I'm cool like that. But anyway, guys, no, for real, From Beyond is excellent, especially if you're a fan of horror movies, special effects, that kind of stuff. Check it out. It is worth your time, worth your money. It's worth everything you got. Just check it out, guys. That's it. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. Thank you so much for hanging around and talking with me about From Beyond for a little while. And as always, my friends, I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I will see you soon.